from Collins Engage. Hope you're well. Thanks for your comments on my last video. I do apologise it was a bit long. This is a bit shorter, and it's about one thing, and one thing only, which I'll show you. It was a very nice surprise. Well, this is a bit of a turn up for the books. Last week, when something was released, I thought, well, I'll get a set of chips delivered, and we got one set delivered, or would have had a set delivered, but unfortunately they take your money and say, well, we can send you one of them out of the three, but not all of them, and selling it as a in-stock item, and they didn't have it. So we ordered another set, and that came, and it was just a case of getting a couple of sets just for future. So if there was ever a shortage of the chips, but not the trains, in theory there should never be a shortage of them, because some people will buy them without the chips to run DC. But I did it the other way around. But then today this turned up as a very possibly late or a very early gift. Was not expecting it, and it's a very nice surprise. And as you can see, and if you haven't ever had a Kato product before, when they're in sets that come like they're in a book format and in a sleeve, and then the wrapping, what the company who sold it, they did a very good job to get it here. And as it turned out, it was ordered on Saturday at 11:30ish, and it's here by about 11:30ish on Monday. So let's have a look inside. Well, this is the revealing. And one thing Kato do is send you track, and I assume from how high that is out of the in the sponge, there's 5 pieces of track, so you can sit it in a display cabinet, and it gives you a bit of their track to see if you like it. But it's a nice little touch. But doesn't that look very smart indeed? Now we have some Kato, and they run very nicely indeed. And I had the pleasure of talking to Mr. Kato himself in 2019, and he was asking different things about sets and his thoughts, and at the time he said he was thinking of doing 5 sets, and that's what this is. And this is how we're all going to have to buy it in sets, but if we want to do a double, we have to buy 2 sets. But as you know, the price is very good for an engine, and say 4 coaches if you count the back end, with it being a dummy as a coach. Really, it's a marvellous price. So we'll have a little look. We want to get our hands on it. So let's have a look. Okay, so the motor is in the middle of the set, because I'll just show you the motor itself, and very nice and small indeed. That's it without the top on. There's just, to get to the actual motor, there's just those little hold clip things to undo, and you just push them off those tabs there. There's two on each end, and that then drops off to get to the motor. You do have to take the body off to get to that part because it's behind the side of the coach body. Right, I'm just going to show you running in DC while this bit is off. The controller's on full, and there's copper pickups all the way along, and it's fairly quiet, and it'd be even quieter when it's covered. But that is straight out of the box, lovely. So bonny little engine is that. So we're just going to fit the chips, and we think we found out where they go because we've been reading instructions what come with the chips. These are them, if you've not seen them before. That's the little blighters, so we'll just verify our thoughts of where they go and show you how it's done. Now, the easiest way of doing it is just to take the bogie off and the drive shaft, which is there. It's like most of them where you push it one way, whichever way you want, and then just clip it out. So there are some people showing that you can slide it underneath the drive shaft, but it would be at this end. But these copper connections spring up, and I think they're getting in the way, so I think you just take it off and slide it in, which I'll just show you when it's done. Right, in here there are two springs on each side, and hopefully there you'll see them, and the chip goes underneath that and rests on this copper strip inside that fold there. So I won't film putting it in, or if I can I will. I'll just hope my hands don't block too much. I'll go find the chip. So that's the chip, square side up, and you just rest it on the bottom copper and it just slides underneath. Just a little gentle persuasion to get past it. No, it won't go in, and I've had it in once. That's it, just like that, and it just sits inside that little, like a little cradle, and those brass bits there are pushing on the top of that, and then just connect your bogie back on to your drive shaft, and that's that in there. Interesting. What is interesting, it shows you on the instructions what come with the chip, what to do, all in Japanese, and the main manual what comes with the train has both English and Japanese, but doesn't show you how to put the chips in. Now if you don't want to have chips, it doesn't matter, you don't need to see it, so that's maybe why they've done it that way. But that's it. So we'll put it back together and we'll show you the lighting chips. And as you can see, that's the clearance it gives you. And like I say, you just drop the drive shaft back in. You don't have to look for any way it goes, just put it in, and then you just clip that back down into there, and that's it. That's done. Right, when you take this off, make a note of which way around it is, but if you don't, the way you know it's in the right place is these little grey clips here go into that hole and that one there. But if you notice, it's tight there and there's a big gap there, so that's actually the wrong way round, and it's only a fraction different. But when I put it in the right place, you'll see that that is more even. Right, the chip, that is the way it goes into there. The little black bit to the back of the engine, those white tabs facing upwards. The other side of the chip looks like that. So all you do is put the black bit facing upwards to start with, just because it's quite tight to get in. And unfortunately my hands are in the way, but and then you just have to maneuver it. As you can see, it's not sat right. Just maneuver it into position so it sits flat with those white tabs facing up. And then what you have to do is slide it forward. It goes quite a way in. So basically the wings what stick out virtually go all the way. When it's just laid in the bottom, the wings are back here. But you push it all the way so it's up to this plastic. And that connection there has to be on this side of the loco, and then all you do is knock your pantograph off. No, you don't. All you do is just clip that on, push that on, and then just push it down, and then it's ready for programming. Just through trial and error, because there's no information what's sent, but I said that that little mark had to be on the left. It does on one of them. You have to put the chip in the opposite way round on the other end, so when it goes on the track and is lit up, it's got red at one end and white at the other, and then when you reverse it changes. But if you don't, you just get either too red or too white when you turn it on or you reverse, whichever. So I do apologise for that little bit of misinformation at the beginning, but you put it in the other way around. So that orange, that copper line in the middle there is in the middle. And if you look at it, when you get one's to one side. So basically you just push one in one way and one the other. Right, just with this connection bit, something I have been saying, because I haven't read this bit, is where the motor goes. I thought it was just going to be in the middle, but it isn't. It's plainly marked M there. The top row, or the shaded green, is for GWR, and the white is for the LNER units. And then it shows you a double. Now, they have running numbers on, and it's on the coaches. At this end, when I can find the camera, whee, there. So that's 812021. That is actually the motor, and you can see it there. 812021. You can just push them when there's a male and female, and when there's a bit of a gap, like you can see, if you just push them together, that's them together. They just clip. The male and female locates it, and there's a little clip at the bottom what gets rid, what hooks on like that, and it's together. And if you lift them up, they won't part, but if you lift them up in the middle, they will just come away like that. So put them on the track and push them together. Okay, so it's on the track. We're going to give it a run. I'm just going to get it going. We've got the white lights at the front now, and we have the red lights at the back, how it should be, and that's just finding out. It's a shame. Kato have done a very good instruction in the box what comes in English and Japanese, but the chips, there's an odd little bit of information in numbers and stuff like that, but it doesn't tell you what they do. It just gives you numbers, a few CVs. It doesn't tell you which CV does what, and the most of it is in Japanese. That could do with addressing, really. It's okay if you know about it, but if you don't, you could be ringing people up and saying it doesn't work, this ain't right. So there's a slight disappointment, but as a unit it is lovely, and as we're going to see, it runs very nice. Now the motor is in that one, and that's forward, so it virtually pushes most of it, because there's only that one at the back, and it goes over the points, double slip around a fairly sharp corner there. Let's get it going a bit more, and just run really well. As you'll see, if you move over, you'll see the two red lights. It has a nice sound. You have the track gaps, the clip. Sounds very nice. It goes over the double slips very well, which I knew Kato would, unless they made a big mistake. I am a fan of them. So the 2 Euro stars. This is half speed, about 64. On my controller at 1 to 8. And full speed, straight out of the box. That's full, and you know the more you run it, the faster it'll go, the it'll get. So it goes very well indeed. Now that is the normal way for that particular upline, but just to show you, it does run the other way. And it does also run at full speed the other way. So it runs very nice indeed. I knew Kato would get it as near as damn it right. Interesting chip system. Why they had to have a different type, I do not know, but I suppose it's a way of making a little bit more money. And at the end of the day, if you pay the full price for these, I think it's 209, maybe so many pence, for 5 units. You know, in theory, 4 coaches, 1 engine. It's not bad at all, and you can get it cheaper, and I got this cheaper. So this was, I believe, the person, I sent them to a site and they paid 178 and so many pence. So, but what a gift. It's absolutely brilliant. And when I get the overhead, it will look great. I'm interested to see if it goes round this up a bit, but not today. And to see if it runs round the down line on the inside. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that run. Well, isn't that lovely? I must admit, I was waiting for the LNER to come out, but I would have always got a GWR. I thought I would have had an HST in it by now, but I haven't. Just haven't got round to getting a HST in what I call the racing green. It's a lovely green colour. So, very pleased indeed with it. And it runs, as you saw, excellent. So thanks very much for watching. Any questions, please ask in comments, and I will do my best to sort them out. I'm no expert on what you should do with them, but I figured it all out in the end. So thanks very much. Bye for now.